I am going to talk about sprouted lentils. But before I get into that, I'm going to focus in on water. Water is vital in all of our processes, whether we're sprouting lentils, preparing different beverages, or replenishing our bodies. And how we store water is very important. And so in this case, I'm using stainless steel containers. Out of all the different containers that you can use, a stainless steel container is one of the best ways, but not the only best way that you can use to store water. You certainly don't want to leave the water in the regular plastic jugs that you get out of the store, because those jugs are susceptible to being pierced, broken, or leaking chemicals into the water if you're storing the water in the car and the sun is hitting it. I'm talking about plastic water bottles, plastic containers of various kinds, unless it's like industrial grade polyethylene, high density polyethylene type containers. And so lentils, they're beans that you can cook, and you can cook different types of beans, whether it's chickpeas or pinto beans or kidney beans. In this case, I chose lentils because lentils is something that I pretty much cook the most when I cook beans. And so I'm much more familiar with lentils. These are lentils that I have sprouted over several days. The last time that I sprouted lentils, which was a few months ago, it took me about 3 to 4 days to sprout them. In this case, I sprouted them over a 7-day period. The reason it took me so long is because I forgot that I was sprouting them. I had left them somewhere in a closed container after I had soaked them in water, and I forgot all about them. And I thought that all was lost, and I had messed up the sprouting process. But lentils and these beans are so resilient that even after about 4 or 5 days of leaving them unattended, I was able to resume the sprouting process, and they still sprouted. And so sprouting is an important matter in terms of health, because sprouting lentils in this case, it causes the beans to break down the sugars that are naturally in the beans. It improves healthy carbohydrates and fats. You get more beta carotene, more B vitamins, more vitamin C, a lot more protein. You boost your ATP production. You get more omega-3 fatty acids and the good type of cholesterol, HDL cholesterol. It speeds up cellular regeneration, and it's easier to digest, and you can eat it raw. In general, they're supposed to last about a week, but you can actually have them last about 2 weeks. So I have all of my bags of sprouted lentils surrounding this main container, which I call my go-to container for eating food on the go. And so what I wanted to do was set up an on-the-go food consumption container that makes eating on the go very convenient for me, right? I got a glass container, which glass is actually the best material for food, for water, for liquids, for anything. You just have to be careful with glass, because glass, if it breaks, then you got shards that are getting in your food, right? And getting into your beverages. But this is a safe way to use a glass container, because I have it contained within a larger plastic container, right? Along with these items like my protein cocoa powder mix, and I got curry powder with sesame seeds. Basically, I've designed these different elements to be convenient and easy to deploy at a moment's notice. I forgot the name of what this is. I think it's called masajo or yakami or something like that. I do apologize for that, but it's like a type of seaweed that's chopped up, and I found it to be very useful. You can mix it with balsamic vinaigrette, you can mix it with olive oil, or you can just have it by itself, and it adds a nice dose of sodium to any meal, and you can also just chew it by itself. The best way to use that element is to let it soak in water, but I just find that leaving it in your mouth and letting your saliva mix it is a great way to consume that. So this is salads that I had meal prepped. It actually took me 3 hours to take one of them large containers of mixed greens that you can get from Walmart or Kroger's, and actually meal prep about 5 to 7 of these bags. You take a gallon Ziploc bag and you put lettuce and you put well, not lettuce, but mixed greens, because I really don't recommend lettuce, but mixed greens and other elements, in this case, broccoli slaw, which is going to have shredded broccoli slaw, and it's going to have carrots and other elements, which are convenient to put together. You don't want to put too much in these bags because that can create storage issues when it comes to keeping it long term. And you can mix your lentils, your sprouted lentils, with this mixed green mix, right? And create a good overall type of meal on the go.